Hello friends, we are here today with Sapna Maheshwari, and she is a company secretary, and she has more than 10 years of experience in company secretary. And we are going to talk about company secretary and how it helps companies and small businesses as well as large businesses. So welcome Sapna. How are you?
So much. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So Sapna, this interview is for DigiSamvad blog, and it is targeted towards audience who want to know more about what is company secretary, how it helps other companies, and even for students. A lot of our blogs are being viewed by students also, aspiring CS students. So I'll be asking you a few questions. Please share your thoughts on this. I hope you guys like this. Okay. So Sapna, my first question to you is, can you share your journey as a company secretary and what inspired you to choose this profession?
Okay. From the very beginning, I have a special place for the subject law. It has a different value for me. And when I'm talking about law, it's not relating to the criminal law or some sort of civil law, but it is again related to the companies.
Okay.
Company in itself give you a kind of special authority. And the company law is like so fascinated. So I was like very much keen on knowing more about it, learning about it, and just willing to know how exactly it would be happening. The journey just started with a trial thing, but eventually we are so much into that. Now it is like our profession.
Okay. And how long are you doing this?
So basically, I am practicing as a company secretary for about 10 years now.
Okay.
As soon as I have done with my CS qualification, after my internship, I have started with my practice. So I have experience for like 8 years in Bangalore because I have started my practice from Bangalore.
Bangalore. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
I have established my office there. Now eventually shifted to Hyderabad. So I'm just trying to expand more here.
Okay. So now you are exploring the Hyderabad market after having established in Bangalore.
Absolutely.
Okay. Good to know that. And how did you start this journey? Anything? Was it like somebody from your family member was doing it, so you did, or how did you go into this field? What was your calling?
So basically, none of my family members are into any sort of profession or thing. They are basically into family business.
Okay.
I would say I am the odd one here to practice my own self, have a profession, and do something for myself. It's a challenging task, which is like, I wanted to do it.
Okay.
And of course, we have always our friends group to support us.
Right.
So here we are.
Good to know that. Okay, thanks. So my next question, Sapna, is what are some of the most common challenges companies face in staying compliant, and how do you help them overcome these?
So basically, the company face challenges where they are not aware of exactly what they are supposed to do. What
Okay.
is the procedure? What are the compliance? What are the things they need to take care of it?
And companies means what exactly?
So when I am talking about companies, it is a private limited company, public limited company, maybe listed, unlisted, and I would not say it's only limited to companies. It is every sort of corporate structure. When you talk about LLPs as well, when you talk about a firm which have to, take some sort of approval or some sort of registration and all those things.
Okay.
So basically on a broader scale, I will talk about corporate structure.
All right.
So people need to be aware of whatever things they have to do, what are the compliance they need to follow to make it more efficient.
So what are the most common challenges? Any examples can you share?
Like in a recent case, I would say yesterday I was just going through an article where it says that the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, generally known as MCA.
MCA, right?
Right. So they have imposed some sort of penalty on a manufacturing unit of iPhones.
iPhone manufacturing.
Yes.
Okay.
And why the compliance was given? Because for a particular period of time, they were not employed a company secretary.
Okay.
So when I am talking about employment of a company secretary, so basically our profession, it is categorized in two ways. One is in practice, like practice, I am in practice, where I will be working for n number of companies.
Okay.
And I can provide my services catered there. And when I'm talking about employment, so it is kind of a full-time employment when one individual professional can only work for that particular company.
Where you are employed, that CS is an employee of that company.
Yes.
That is one part, and another part is you,
Yes.
where you do independently, and there you can have multiple clients. You are not employed by one client.
Absolutely.
Okay. So in this particular example that you said, in that case, what was the issue that they did not hire a company secretary? So, as per MCA or as per the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, a certain type of a company, or for the example that you gave, it was a manufacturing company. So they need to have a company secretary appointed.
Yes.
And in that case, they didn't have. So they got some penalty for that.
Yes.
So to overcome this, whenever a company is registered, they should or immediately tie up with a corporate, with a company secretary and appoint them as a company secretary to avoid this penalty, right? But why do they need to appoint? What is the reason behind it?
So basically, this is not applicable to each and every company. For example, the small companies, they need not have full-time company secretary. But
Okay.
of course, they can have a help of a consultant as a company secretary who will be helping them and guiding them in all the procedural aspects.
So what kind of companies should compulsory have a CS?
So when we are talking about a full-time company secretary, so it is after they reach certain amount of paid-up capital, certain amount of turnover, by default MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, as per the rules, they have supposed to employ a full-time company
Okay,
secretary.
so there is a threshold.
Yes.
That if a company is a private limited LLP or a limited company, if they cross the threshold,
Yes.
then it is a
Mandatory.
it is mandatory that you should have a company secretary.
Yes, and if that is not met, again the compliance.
Then you will be
penalties
fined.
Are there.
You will
Yes.
get penalties. Okay. So if you want to avoid such things, please follow our blog and learn more from it. So thank you, Sapna, for that thought. I have a next question for you. With the evolving regulatory landscape, how do you ensure that companies stay ahead and avoid legal penalties or avoid legal pitfalls in terms of company secretary?
Okay, so that we could say by staying updated. See, this is a world where everything is getting upgraded. So every now and then, if you take anything, it might be a phone. Every
Okay.
now and then it is getting updated. There are
Yes.
new versions and everything. Similar is with the law.
Right.
Might that be corporate law or any other law for the
Okay.
time being thing. So to be upgraded with that thing,
Yeah.
to be upgraded with the thing is the key to it. And while we say that being updated, it's not like you have to be complete and learn something. Just ask your professional or your consultant, what is it?
Okay.
You are like into it. You have heard it. Is it applicable to you? Is it applicable to your company? What are the compliance? What are the requirements? So in this
So
case,
what you are saying is to be updated in this field, you need to be in touch with your company secretary. But suppose I am not having any company secretary right now. In that case, how should I be updated with such things? And how should I know whether this new updated law is applicable to me or not? Are there any blog, are there any websites or any magazines that we should be in touch with, or how is it?
so these upgrades are like, I would not say easily available in magazines or something.
Okay.
But again, when you see in the newspaper, just now I have given you one of the example of this MCA imposing penalty.
right.
Certain kind of thing, when you pass through such articles, you can just, and maybe I would say it is just you need to ask to the
right person.
respective person, right?
Right, okay.
So that's how it will be. We generally practice a thing where we, like wherever my clients are there, I inform them as soon as we are into such update, we inform them that these are the situation.
To your customer, okay.
My clients,
To
yes. of
whoever
course.
is your client,
Right.
when some new thing is coming, you are immediately informing them and keeping them updated.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, saying them if it is applicable to them, what we have to do, and we are guiding it.
Right,
Just
right.
They need to be like updated and aware of the situation.
So it is like the service also which you provide, where you are providing the company secretary service. There, it is your duty where you need to update your client as well. So that is one advantage of having a company secretary enrolled in your firm.
Right.
Thank you, Sapna, for that information. So basically, we came to know about how to be updated in terms of new CS laws or amendments. So my next question to you is, what advice would you give to startups and SMEs about about setting up their compliance frameworks effectively? What will be your advice to new companies, new startups, or new small and medium enterprises, or even micro enterprises? To how should they be setting up their compliance framework?
When we're talking about someone who is trying to set up their new business activity, so the people are not generally aware how to start with it, what are the requirements, and which is the most suitable form of a business for them.
Okay.
So, depending on what kind of a business it is, what are their expectations down the 5 years or so, or what are their viewpoint, and which is more suitable to the business category what they are dealing in.
Okay.
So, depending on such scenario, we can suggest to them which is the best suitable option for them.
Okay.
For example, there was one of our client who was into this milk product thing.
Milk product. Okay.
Yeah, so just after just getting influenced by other persons who are like their friends or so, he was like very much willing to interested in going with the company, like a private limited company.
Okay.
But when we just like spoke there in depth and where I understand what is his requirement, what is the turnover he's doing as of now currently. So depending on them, I suggested him it won't be that workable for them.
Right.
Because the expenses, whatever the compliance things they have to make the payment and all those things, it's not worth of doing it. So we suggested them to go with an LLP, which is more beneficial and suitable for that category of business.
Okay.
So again, it depends on category to category. So for example, one more company where they were like into stock brokerage thing.
Okay.
So they were pretty sure about what business category they wanted to do, but on what basis, what are the requirements, what are the procedures, they were not aware of it.
What type of firm they should set up? That guidance you can give.
Yes, along with that guidance, I can also suggest them that what are the required registrations and license required. As I was talking about stock brokerage thing, there are particular type of license which are required to operate such kind of industries.
Right.
So those guidance are required.
So if it is a professional business like this stockbroker, then you can guide them not just how to set up the company, but also ancillary or what particular licenses they need.
Yes.
And so that becomes compliance also. That
Yes.
they have the license and so they are doing this business.
Right.
And then you can set up their business accordingly.
Absolutely. And we believe it's just not about registration and leaving up to their head. We love to help them and we will guide them till the point where they are able to manage on their own.
Okay.
So they should not feel burdened about it.
Okay. So hand-holding thing you can say. Initial hand-holding.
Initially, till the time they learn about it, till the time they are aware of provisions and compliance, they need to take care on their own.
Good. Thank you, Sapna, for that thought. Now I have one more question. So just two more questions remaining. Thank you for your time, actually.
No problem. It's my pleasure.
Okay. So first question: what qualities do you think are essential for someone to succeed as a company secretary, and what's your advice for aspiring professionals?
Okay. To the aspiring professional, I would say consistency is the key.
Okay.
Keep on just updating yourself and be consistent with what you have taken up and what you are doing in it. Don't be disheartened by just hearing someone out and the market conditions are bad, this is happening, that is happening.
Right.
No, nothing to fear on it. We have such a huge prospects. We have like a ocean left for us. So no need of just going behind one thing. We can go with specializations. When we are talking about CS, it has a wide scope.
Okay.
Specialization in corporate governance, corporate social responsibilities.
Environment related also there are some.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And even I recently saw, I would like to share this to my viewers, and I saw one video which went viral recently, where one company secretary student was going for an interview, and she was very sad in that video, and she was just telling that there are thousands or hundreds of aspirants for one job, and she was trying to show in that video that see how many people are coming for one interview. But I would like to say, don't fall for such small petty videos, because that video doesn't define the market. Actually, you should follow what Sapna is telling, wherein there is an ocean of opportunities for company secretary, and especially if you have some specialization along with your company secretary degree, it will give you a competitive edge. Am I right? Right. So, what other specializations should one go for? I mean, how does it depend? What if I want to do some specialization? What should I do? How should I follow?
Basically, our institute, like Institute of Company Secretaries of India, have started with variety of courses as such.
Okay.
So we can just take part in it. We can just, we can apply into it and we can follow it. So basically, these are post management qualification, post membership qualification courses
Okay.
to give you added advantage.
Acha. Any example, like you said about environment? Any other example?
Again, you could say about this insolvency professionals.
Insolvency professional.
Yes.
That is also one good, we can say, an specialization which can give you an edge.
Yes.
And it also, I think, depends on the individual, what they like, what is their passion. They should follow their passion. Means alongside of doing the CA studies, they can also take up one additional topic and become an expert in that topic,
Yes.
and that becomes their specialization.
Yes, it has added advantage, right?
Added advantage, right? Because if you know it's a competitive field, then bring a competitive edge to your own career
Right.
by doing some specialization. Really good. Really nice. Thank you, Sapna, for that thought. My last question to you. How important do you think collaboration between HR services and compliance experts like company secretaries like yourself is in building a strong foundation for businesses? So how important it is for collaborations?
Oh, it is very essential, I would say. See, it's like they can work as a power team. We are into the process of where we are incorporating new companies, registration of new companies, and all the companies need a team of people to work there.
Okay.
So HR the correct persons who can help us with that.
Right.
Depending on the category of business they are into, there are specific requirements of such kind of people they want to hire. This kind of staff they need to there with
Right.
certain sort of experience, certain type of qualifications. So the persons would be HR to help us with this.
Okay. So what you are saying is the customer segment or target audience is somewhat overlapping for HR services and a company secretary.
Yes.
So collaborating with an HR service is complementary. Like suppose you are working with a client and that client has hired you for setting up their business. So you do that part of your business where you help them establish and set up the compliance and everything. Later on, the same company is saying they are looking to hire somebody.
Yes.
There, because you have a tie-up with HR service, you can say, okay, you want to hire, I know the right person. That
Right.
way you are satisfying your client's one more need, which is out of your scope, but it is in alignment with your collaboration.
Yes.
Where HR service can come in front and they provide that service. Similarly, for HR companies also, like us, like in DigiSamvad, what we do HR services and we do hiring also. Now, if one company is hiring from us and they are saying that they want to establish a new company and want to set up a new company and they need an CS. Now, because I have collaboration with you, then I can immediately share your contact details with them. That way, it becomes a win-win situation for all three of us, you, me, as well as the client.
Yes.
Whereas we are in a situation where we are not saying no to the client, where we are not saying to the client, no, actually I don't deal with a company setup. Please look out for somebody else. There I will say yes, why not? Similarly, you can also say for HR services that yes, I know some company and that they can help you with that.
Yes, absolutely.
So collaboration is needed and it's the need of the hour, I think, for
Very much.
collaborating with like-minded people and where the audience or the target customer is overlapping, there you should have collaboration. I think.
Yes.
That is what we are doing right now. Okay, I think these were my questions. In the at the end of this vlog, I would like to say to the audience, because I think there are many aspiring students who are watching this vlog, and I would like to say them that if you want to know or if you have any doubts regarding company secretary and you want to know more about or you have any doubt about company secretary, the procedure, the practices, and you want to have proper guidance with the expert like Sapna, please comment to this vlog. Please ask your questions and we will definitely try to answer these questions. And we'll take your guidance for that.
Absolutely. I'll be happy to do so.
Thank you, Sapna, for your time. It was a pleasure talking with you and hope we meet again.
Sure.
Thanks a lot.